It was a sweltering afternoon in Warri, Delta State, when Afeeze, a young and ambitious petroleum engineer, arrived at the gates of the prestigious estate where he had recently rented an apartment. The estate, known for its opulent homes and well-manicured lawns, was owned by Mr. Godwin, a prominent landlord in the area. Afeeze had just been transferred to Delta State by his company, one of the most reputable oil companies in Nigeria, and he was eager to settle into his new home. As Afeeze approached the security gate, he noticed the guards exchanging glances. They hesitated before letting him in, their eyes filled with suspicion. Ignoring their stares, Afeeze drove in and parked in front of his new apartment. He was excited to start this new chapter of his life, but little did he know that his joy was about to be short-lived. The first few days went smoothly until Afeeze met Mr. Godwin in person. Mr. Godwin was a stout man in his late 50s. With a stern expression that rarely softened, Afeeze greeted him warmly, introducing himself as the new tenant. Mr. Godwin's eyes narrowed as he looked Afeeze up and down. "So, you're the new tenant," Mr. Godwin said, his tone icy. "Yes, sir, my name is Afeeze. I'm an engineer with an oil company," Afeeze replied, extending his hand. Mr. Godwin ignored the gesture. "I see. Well, let's hope you keep the place in order. We don't want any trouble here." The landlord's cold reception left Afeeze feeling uneasy, but he brushed it off, attributing it to Mr. Godwin's stern personality. As weeks turned into months, Afeeze began to notice subtle signs of hostility. Neighbors avoided him, and whispers followed him wherever he went. One evening, while taking a walk, he overheard a conversation between two residents. "Did you hear about the new tenant in Block CHEs from the north?" one woman said, her voice dripping with disdain. "Yes, I heard. They say those people bring trouble. I don't know why Mr. Godwin even rented to him," the other replied. Afeeze's heart sank. He had worked hard to achieve his position, and he had hoped that his professionalism would speak for itself, but it seemed his background was all that people saw. The situation escalated one evening when Afeeze returned home to find his belongings strewn across the front yard. Shocked and furious, he rushed inside to find Mr. Godwin standing in the hallway. "What is the meaning of this?" Afeeze demanded. Mr. Godwin's face twisted into a sneer. "You people think you can come here and live like kings? Not in my estate. I won't have your kind here. My kind? What are you talking about?" Afeeze asked, bewildered. "You know exactly what I mean. We don't need people from your region causing trouble here. You have until the end of the week to leave," Mr. Godwin spat. Devastated and feeling completely shattered, Afeeze sought legal counsel. He couldn't believe he was being treated this way in the 21st century. The lawyer he consulted, Mr. Obina, was sympathetic and agreed to take the case. "This is a clear case of discrimination," Mr. Obina said. "We'll fight this." The legal battle was long and grueling. Mr. Godwin used his influence and connections to delay proceedings, making Afeeze's life a living hell. He faced backlash not just from the landlord but from many residents who sided with Mr. Godwin. After months of court hearings and testimonies, the court finally ruled in Afeeze's favor. Mr. Godwin was ordered to pay damages and issue a public apology. But the victory felt hollow. The experience had left Afeeze emotionally scarred and weary. "I just wanted to live in peace," Afeeze said to Mr. Obina after the verdict. "I never imagined it would come to this." Unable to bear the constant scrutiny and hostility, Afeeze decided to leave Delta State. He transferred to another branch of his company, hoping to find a place where he would be judged by his character and not his background. As he packed his belongings, he looked around the apartment that had once symbolized a fresh start. Now, it was a reminder of the prejudice and hatred he had faced. Driving away from the estate, Afeeze couldn't help but feel a deep sense of loss. His dreams of a bright future in Delta State lay in ruins, shattered by discrimination and ignorance. Years later, Afeeze would look back on his time in Delta State as a pivotal chapter in his life. It taught him the harsh realities of prejudice, but also ignited a passion for justice and equality. He became an advocate for anti-discrimination laws, working to ensure that no one else would have to endure what he had. In the end, Afeeze's story was not just one of heartbreak and despair, but also one of resilience and hope. Despite the devastating experience, he emerged stronger, determined to make a difference in the world. From a property management perspective, this story highlights several critical issues. 1. Tenant selection and discrimination. The discrimination Afeeze faced from Mr. Godwin, the landlord, underscores the importance of fair and unbiased tenant selection. Discriminating against tenants based on their ethnicity, religion, or background is not only unethical, but also illegal in many jurisdictions. Property managers should ensure they have clear, non-discriminatory criteria for tenant selection. Tenant relations. Building and maintaining positive tenant relationships is crucial. Mr. Godwin's hostile attitude toward Afeeze created a toxic environment, leading to tenant dissatisfaction and legal consequences. Property managers should foster a welcoming and inclusive atmosphere for all tenants. 3. Conflict resolution. Effective conflict resolution mechanisms are essential in property management. In the story, the conflict escalated because Mr. Godwin failed to address his biases and instead acted on them. Property managers should have protocols in place to address disputes fairly and efficiently. From a legal perspective, this case raises important points regarding anti-discrimination laws and tenant rights. 1. Anti-discrimination laws. The legal battle Afeeze faced illustrates the importance of anti-discrimination laws in protecting tenants. These laws exist to ensure that all individuals have equal access to housing, regardless of their background. Mr. Godwin's actions violated these laws, leading to legal repercussions. 2. Tenant rights. Tenants have the right to live in a property without facing discrimination or harassment. Afeeze's decision to seek legal counsel and pursue a case against Mr. Godwin demonstrates the importance of tenants knowing and asserting their rights. 3. Legal recourse and damages. The court ruling in Afeeze's favor, awarding damages and ordering a public apology, serves as a reminder that there are legal recourse available for victims of discrimination. Property owners and managers must be aware of the potential legal and financial consequences of discriminatory practices. Lessons learned. The story offers several valuable lessons for property managers, landlords, and tenants. Emphasize fairness and inclusivity. Property managers and landlords should strive to create an inclusive environment where all tenants feel welcome. Fair treatment and non-discriminatory practices are essential for building trust and maintaining a positive reputation. Educate and train staff. Regular training on anti-discrimination laws and tenant rights can help prevent incidents like the one in the story. Property management teams should be well informed about legal requirements and best practices for tenant relations. Encourage open communication. Encouraging open and respectful communication between tenants and property managers can help address concerns before they escalate. A transparent process for handling complaints and disputes is crucial. Know your rights. Tenants should be aware of their rights and not hesitate to seek legal advice if they face discrimination or harassment. Understanding legal protections can empower tenants to take action against unfair treatment. Foster a community. Building a sense of community within a property can reduce biases and improve tenant satisfaction. Organizing community events and encouraging interaction among tenants can help break down prejudices and promote inclusivity. Be prepared for legal consequences. Landlords and property managers must understand the serious legal implications of discriminatory practices. Legal battles can be costly, damaging both financially and reputationally. Adhering to fair housing laws is not just ethical, but also prudent from a business perspective. In conclusion, the story of Afeeze and Mr. Godwin serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of fairness, inclusivity, and legal awareness in property management. It underscores the need for property managers and landlords to uphold ethical standards and ensure that all tenants are treated with respect and dignity. If you find this story insightful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel for more content on property, facility, and real estate management tips. Thank you for watching and see you next time. God bless you.